Welcome everyone to the Reports for Sales CRM webinar. In this webinar, we'll talk a little bit about how Pipe reports and present our brand new company reports. We'll move on to exemplifying how the reports can be used to keep track of your sales processes. The first thing we need to look into are what are reports. So Pipefy offers two types of reports. Pipe reports, which you already know well, and our brand new company reports, which were launched just last week. Pipe reports display the information added to all your pipes fields in a table format. Company reports, on the other hand, display general aspects of the cards in two or more of your pipes in a table format. Reports and pipes are an alternate view of all the data added to your pipes fields in a customizable table format. The Reports feature enables users to choose which fields they want to display, reorder the data, and filter it according to many different aspects, such as creation date, current phase, assignee, etc. You can also save reports with pre-selected filters to make it easier for you to access the exact information you want to see just by accessing the pre-saved report. To top things off, the Reports feature can also be used to export your pipes data. Company Reports is a feature we've launched recently, less than a week ago. It enables users to combine the data or the general attributes of two or more pipes in a single place. They're very useful to help managers keep track of the sales team's leads, opportunities, and deals all in the same place. Their work mechanism is very similar to the Pipe reports, with a few interface differences, which I'll show to you in a bit. They enable users to filter, reorder, and export the information just as the Pipe reports. So this is how the reports work. You get to choose the fields from which you want to display the data in your table, and if you want to export the data afterwards, that's the data that's going to be included in your report. So you have a button in which you can see all the fields in your pipes phases in case of the pipe reports, and then you can choose to display them or not in your report. On the left side of the screen, we have a filters panel in which you can choose attributes to use to choose the information. For example, you can choose one of your sales reps as assignee and then filter to see only his or her cards in your sales pipeline. You can choose to filter only your top priority deals, only deals that were created between the first day of the month and the 15th day, for example. The filtering possibilities are infinite. When managing your sales and CRM processes, there are many situations in which you can use reports. We've divided our presentation into three main pipes. So we'll start with the lead qualification pipe, in which we'll show you many different reports, such as leads that were generated during the current month, leads that were generated during the current month but separated per sales rep, qualified leads, unqualified leads, active leads divided by company size. So we can only see small companies, medium companies, and large companies. Active leads divided by source, so the active leads that were generated by cold calling, the ones that were generated by email marketing, and the ones by website subscription. And also we segmented active leads by opportunity size, so big, medium, and small opportunities. In the sales pipeline, we also generated a whole bunch of reports, such as opportunities won, opportunities lost, active deals for opportunities of over 10,000 and opportunities under 10,000, opportunities currently in the proposal phase, also in the negotiation, and opportunities divided by sales rep. And to wrap things up, we have the activity control pipe, in which we can see how many emails were sent per month, how many meetings were held per month, and how many calls were made per month. We also made reports to see the total of activities divided by sales rep. The first thing I'm going to show you guys is the company reports, because it's a new feature. So I'm going to show you guys how it works, and then we'll move on to our lead qualification pipe. Here we have a report called Sales Team All Cards. So when you open your company reports, we have a couple different aspects on our screen. The first thing we need to do is open this option here to choose which pipes we want to include in this report. So you have the option of selecting or deselecting all of your pipes. In our case, we selected the sales pipeline, lead qualification, and team activities pipes. Then we moved on to adding the filters. So we have 4 members in our sales team: Chewie, Darth Vader, Stormtrooper, and Jabba the Hutt. So we've added the filters to say assignee is Chewie, or assignee is Darth Vader, or assignee is Stormtrooper, or assignee is Jabba the Hutt. So you can see that there is a difference here from the pipe reports because we can choose to add and or filters. So we can sum filters. So we could say assignee is Chewie and cards created during a certain period of the month, or we can use the or, so we can add many different assignees. We have the option of choosing here all the general aspects of our cards we want to display. So we have ID, title, current phase, labels, due date, creator, assignees, finished at, created at, updated at, last comment, and last comment at. We don't currently have the option of displaying the customizable fields. So the fields you can create in each pipe, but that's already considered as an improvement to this feature. Now we'll move on to our first pipe. Our first pipe is our lead qualification pipe. It's divided into 6 phases, so qualification, discovery call, pending response, follow-up, sales ready, and poor quality prospect. We've created many different reports to help keep track of all our leads. So we'll start by showing you a report with all the leads created during the current month. Then we'll move on to showing you the leads separated by our sales reps. After that, we'll see qualified and unqualified leads and active leads separated by company size. So here are all the leads created during the current month. To filter only the leads that were created during this month, we've added a simple filter here. So they were created at current month. Simple as that. So we can see here that we have the name of the company, company size, op size, assignees, created at, and priority. Here you can choose to display any information you want. So we have the same general aspects we had in the company reports, and we also have all the fields in our phases. So we have the fields in the start form, the fields in the qualification phase, fields in the discovery call, pending response, follow-up, sales ready, and poor quality prospect. After we select the fields we want to display, we can just drag and drop the columns to reorder if we feel like doing so. And we can also click on top of the field or the attribute to reorder the card using that information. So see, we reordered by assignee. We can also come here and click to reorder by opportunity size. This feature is very useful for when people want to reorder cards by creation date or due date. You can use Since that is not possible yet in the Kanban view, you can use the reports to reorder your cards by date they were created or by their due date or alphabetically if that's what you feel like. After we've checked out this initial report, there's our second report in which we've added a different filter. So here we have assignee is Chewy and cards created during the current month. So we're only gonna see cards that were assigned to Chewy and that we're creating during the current month. You can see here that we have different information displayed in each report. If we were to export the report by clicking here, you can see that we have the option of downloading or receiving the export in our email. Moving on, we have leads that were created by Darth Vader. So assignee is Darth Vader and they were created during the current month. Also, here we have a different filter. So in this case, our current phase is sales ready, which is our qualified leads phase. And we have to come here and say that they were not created. Sorry, you have a filter here at the end that says the first time they entered the sales ready phase was during the current month. So these leads were deemed qualified during the current month. The same goes for unqualified leads. So the current phase is poor quality prospect and the first time they entered the poor quality prospect phase was during the current month. We can also choose to segment our leads according to many of the leads aspects of the information in the pipes fields. So in this case, we've deemed active leads. So if we only want to see active leads, we need to establish that the current phase is not sales ready and it is also not poor quality prospect. That way, we're only going to see leads that are in our active phases of our pipe. So we're going to come here and save it. And it's also filtered by company size is large. So this is a select phase and we get a select field and we get to choose the size of the company. The same goes for medium company. And last but not least, we've created 3 different reports to segment our leads by size of the opportunity. So we have small opportunities, medium opportunities, and large opportunities. The very important thing to mention about the reports is that since we've established dynamic filters, for example, if we just go ahead and create a new opportunity that's large, it's going to appear in this report automatically without us having to change the report or anything. The only situation in which that doesn't happen is if we use, for example, a value, a date field, such as date of creation, and we establish absolute values. So if we only want to see cards that were created before July 1st last year, that information is not going to change because we can go back in the past and create cards before that date. Other than that, the reports are going to automatically update themselves. So in the case of the large ops, we just selected the opportunity size field and established that they're big. Now that we're done with our lead qualification, we'll move on to our sales pipeline. Yes, Sandrival, let me just show you what happens by opening one of our reports. If you click on the list of the card's going to be open in a different tab. So here in our sales pipeline, we have many different reports as well. And you can see that other than in the lead qualification pipe, they show the number of cards. In this case, you can vary that. You can see the card count or the sum of the opportunity value. This option happens when we have a field that's a number or currency field, and we get to use the sum of it. So here I'm going to show you guys one report of each type. Here you guys can see the sum aspect I mentioned. We have 2 different number fields in this pipe. So here we actually have 3. So when we click on this icon here, we get to choose which of the fields we want to display on top here. Here you get to see the average value of the deal close, the sum of all of them, the minimum and the maximum. We'll just stick to the sum for these reports purposes. Since we want to see the opportunities that were won during the current month, we just filtered by first time entered won, which is our won phase, is current month. The same goes for the opportunities lost. So the first time it entered lost was during the current month. If we click on any of these cards in our report, you can see that the card is automatically open in a new tab. So here we have the card we were seeing with all the information. All we have to do is close it and go back to the report. Other than these, we have the opportunities that are currently in the proposal phase. This is very useful to help managers keep track of how much the value they currently have in proposal. So all we have to do is select current phase is proposal. That will display all the cards in the proposal phase. The same goes for the ops in negotiation. So here we chose to display who's responsible for the op, when it was created, the company and contact name, and the value of the opportunity. We also create a report to help our managers keep track of the active ops, so the ones that are not currently in the won or lost phase that are over 10K. So here we filtered by opportunity value is greater than 10,000. Here we can click here to reorder, and we can easily keep track of our biggest opportunities, so we know which of them we should prioritize. We've also filtered the active ops per sales rep. So we have current phase is not won or lost, and assignee is Darth Vader. So we can see all ops that are under Darth's responsibility and the value of them. We can come here also and click average, so we can see the average value of his opportunities. And last but not least, we have the team activities pipe. This team's activities pipe, people, it's good for keeping track of the calls that were made by your reps. Let me just click here. I'm going to show you guys real quick how it works, how we create activities, and why we keep track of those activities. So let's suppose we have a deal with Visa and I have a connection to our activities pipe. So I go ahead and click here, activities, new, to create a new activity. Let's suppose we just had a call. So I'm going to click here and put call and hit create card. You can see that some of the information was pre-filled. That happens because we've set up the autofill in this connection. And then just like that, you can see that we have the call logged here. So when we click on it, we get to see when it was created. So we tend to create the call the day it was made. And here in this pipe, we have several reports to help us keep track of all the activities our team are currently in charge of. So here you can see that we have all activities during the current month, then separated by meetings, calls, and emails. So we're only going to see the meetings. And we also have the activities divided by sales rep. You can see that Stormtrooper hasn't been performing really well during this month's activities. Our first report in our team activities pipe is all activities during the current month. So we've just filtered by when they were created during the current month. And here we can filter by all the calls or all calls or activities that were chewies. We can also reorder them by company so we know which of the companies gave us more effort during the current month. Then we also have the activities during the current month filtered by sales rep. So assignee is Chewy and they were created during the current month. So here we have simple information, just when they were created, the company, and the action. And last but not least, we have our activities segmented by type of activities. So we have cards that were created during the current month and there were meetings. So you can filter here by assignee by having a quick look at how many meetings each of our sales rep had during the past month. And that's it. Thanks everyone for joining this webinar. If you have any questions or specific scenarios you'd like to learn more about, feel free to reach out to me via the in-app chat or my email that's here on the screen, isabel@pipefy.com. Thanks again for joining. See you all on our next webinars.